Hello guys, welcome back. I am sad that I'm out of coffee. I might have to make more later or a second cup. Today's video, welcome if you're new here, I'm Melissa, and today's video is going to be an alocasia dedicated video. I'm gonna start off with the first one here. It's my pink variegated black velvet, and I'm gonna do my big albo regal shields in this video as well. If I have time, I will do a third one, but my main focus is for these two. And the main reason I want to kind of repot them is so I can go corm digging to hunt for corms. And I haven't done that on either of these in a little bit. So my pink black velvet here, it recently lost a leaf, but it is going through another bloom cycle. And she's a little unhappy because of that. So I have been using a different fertilizer over the past, I would say month-ish, 6 weeks. And it does have more phosphorus, like it has more of a neutral NPK. So I feel like because of that reason, it is promoting more bloom specifically on my alocasia. So I think for these guys, I'm going to go back to using the Foliage Pro and then use the more bloom focused fertilizer specifically for my anthurium behind me. I have us switched around today too. I figured it'd give a different view because I'm normally sitting over here and you guys see like the living room behind me. So I figured you could see the shelf here. I'm really excited to get my anthurium moved over. I'm going to do that next month hopefully. And yeah, it's gonna look so good. I'm excited to get a lot of my little anthuriums taken care of and out of those little containers there. So yeah, we're gonna do her first, and I'm putting gloves on just because, I don't know, I feel like I have become a little sensitive to alocasia corms. I think it's because I handle so many corms for the shop now that, I don't know, I don't get like a huge reaction, but I do feel like I get a little itchy and stuff when I handle them too much, so that's why I'm putting gloves on. So yeah, we're going to unpot her, check for corms, cut these blooms off, and kind of get her situated back in here. I don't think I would need to upsize or anything, so we're going to keep her in this pot. And then I also brought 2 of her babies out. So when I checked for corms last, it's probably been a good 5 months, 4 or 5 months at least. And I sold, I think, 3 of her babies. And then I have, I think I sold 3 of her babies. And so I have 3 more. No, I have 4 more because I had another corm that was like really dormant. I had labeled it as a pink black velvet and it finally like spit out a leaf. So that was like a long time ago. But 1 or actually 2 of them are pushing pretty much all pink, like this one here. And this one here I held back, and I was gonna let this one go and sell it, but I decided that I really do want a second mother plant growing just in case. So I already potted these into tree fern substrate, and what I'm gonna do is just take them out and just put them into pond and grow them out. If this one here decides to grow all pink, I'm just gonna end up tossing this one. It does have 1 leaf with a little bit of green, so I'm hopeful maybe that I'll have some more green come in. And then this one here is pushing or getting ready to push a nice leaf here in the middle. So I'm gonna get these potted into like a very small thing of pond, and we'll let them grow out and see what happens. But at least I'll have 1. Like I really want 1 as a second mother plant. That was very drippy. I had just watered it last night. I really wanted to keep one of the ones I sold, and I kind of wished I did now because it was so pretty. But that's okay. I gotta tell myself to stop doing that because I'll grow out these plants, you know, for my shop, and once they start growing and I see how pretty they are, there's so many that I want to keep back and keep as like another plant for me, and I have to tell myself that I can't do that for all the props. So I'm trying to be better about it. Before I cut these blooms off, let's go ahead and dump her out. I have a little empty container here. It's very dark because of my fertilizer that I've been using, but yeah, I'm gonna go back to Foliage Pro for the alocasia. All right, let's dump her. And she may not have any more corms, I don't know. I guess that's kind of why I wanted to check as well, or to have another mother plant so I could have 2 plants that would be corm producing. You see 1 down here. Yeah. She might have been a little unhappy. I was hoping I would have more by now. I have a lot at the top here that are getting ready to kind of spit some corms. Oh, that's really sad. That's really sad that there's only one. Oh, I was hoping for more. I don't know, some alocasias produce corms more frequently than others, but I don't check my regular black velvet that often. That's actually an alocasia I need to take care of, but I'm not doing it today. I want to downsize that one. Well, darn. Oh well, I should just be happy with the one. That's okay though. A lot of these like old arms have like rotted off, like where a corm would grow from. So I wonder if that's why. I'm just plucking some of those away. I don't want to like go messing in here too much. Pluck that away. I'm gonna pluck this one away too. So it looks like the arms that were down here lower were like all like rotted, but then it's shooting a ton of arms up further on the stem, which is where corms would produce. So that is weird. Huh. I wonder if it's going to grow any more down further to produce corms, you know? It should, because why wouldn't it? I think I have a little bit of rot, but I don't know. I really like these containers, but I don't like them as much now with the wick. So I actually might go grab a different container and pot her into it, the ones that have the meter. But I just feel like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm a fan of them as much anymore. I mean, for the most part, I mean, it still looks like a pretty healthy root system, just a little bit of rot. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these blooms. So we have 4 blooms coming in, and I had already cut one off the other day. I had a really stinky alocasia bloom in my plant room. Did I mention that already? I think I did. It smelled like really stinky Brussels sprouts. Oh my gosh. And I don't know still exactly which one it was coming from. I think it was the poly, but I can't be certain. But I don't want these blooms, so I'm gonna cut them. I will eventually try and pollinate alocasia. I know it's a lot more difficult, but I'm not in the right space for that right now because I feel like I have so much to do. Cut that one off. And there's one more here. There actually might be another one, a 5th one. We're cutting that one off. That might be one, but it could be a leaf, so I'll wait and see what that one does. This leaf is yellowing, so that's gonna go. But yeah, she's pretty like variegated. I love the half moon leaf here. That's my favorite. And there was like an all pink one here. Okay, so I think that's it. So that's the root system. Pink black velvet has shed a lot of the lower leaves. Like they'll shed the lowest leaf. I feel like they shed their leaves pretty frequently for an alocasia, even in pond and like in really good conditions. At least mine, I feel like mine has done that quite a bit. Ooh, these blooms kind of stink too. Make sure there's no other corm in here. Oh well, that's okay. I'm disappointed that there was one, but that is all right. We're gonna plant some other ones up and hopefully she'll give me corms. I probably won't check again until, I don't know how often I should check. I don't wanna like jeopardize her growth by like having to keep unpotting her as well. Maybe I'll give her the growing season. Maybe I'll check again in like, maybe like July, August and see how we're looking. Maybe like in 3 months. Okay, I'm gonna grab a different container and we'll get her potted back up. All right, so this is what I'm gonna use. It has the black inner cash pot with a meter, so these do not use a wick at all. And I just like these pots better, so I think I'm gonna stop using the ones with the wick. I'm just gonna reuse what we have. I will say the knockoff pots, like this isn't Lechuza brand, the meters aren't always reliable, so just something to keep in mind. They kind of get stuck sometimes. You can like wiggle it and it'll work again, but still I feel like sometimes they just don't work as good. Let's see. Okay, I think that's good. That's the front there. Okay. It's like, I have my pond, my dry pond over here. I'm gonna steal the scoop so I can scoop this better. I think I do want to experiment with some more chunky pon as well, because this here is old. Well, this is Lechuza, just like straight Lechuza. I think I might have a little bit of my DIY mixed in here, but my DIY pon is very, like this is all my DIY. It's very comparable to Lechuza, like size-wise, it's identical, which I do like, but I kind of do want to try a more chunky kind out and see how it goes. I just like to experiment, I guess. Especially with plants with more thicker root systems like Anthurium, Monstera. So that it's not too dense, I guess. I'm kind of glad I'm taking care of her today. You know, I was just thinking I don't have a pot for my Alocasia regal shields. I wanted to like up pot her. I didn't even think about that, gosh darn it. Well, I actually have a plant that I need to take out of one of these containers, so I might dump that one out and use that pot for my regal shields. I didn't think about that. I have an Anthurium and pond that I want to take out, and it's in a larger container. Not that it's unhappy, it's just I want to separate the Anthurium, and I'd rather just, I don't know, I feel like I like my tree fern aeroid mix for my Anthurium. I feel like they really like it. So I just want to like separate that one and take it out. I'm going to add a little bit of mine on top. I'm going to take this to the sink and flush all the nutrients out of the pond. Just give it a good flush, wash the leaves off because I have some, I was using predatory mites and ladybugs most recently, so I feel like it has some dead mites on it, and then one little corm that we'll plant. We'll save this at the end. So yeah, let's go to the sink, wash this guy, and then I'm going to rinse the root system off of these two, and then we'll pop these up really quick. Okay, I just made up my nutrients real quick. I already had silica sitting in a jug of water. So the main fertilizer is Foliage Pro, but I still have some other supplements in here, so it still looks a little bit dark. So that's ready to go. And let's go ahead and give her a flush. Whoever told me to take the meter out to lift these pots up out of here is a genius. Because I don't know why I never thought of that before. Because sometimes I have a hard time getting these freaking pots up out of here. And I like to flush through just with water, maybe once a month, but honestly, it just depends on the time and what I have going on. Sometimes I'll do like certain plants in a certain area, like this day while I'm watering, because it gets to be a lot when I have so much to do on one day. So I usually like to break it up in sections now. And I'm just gonna add a little bit in here because this pond here will stay moist for a little bit. And then, you know, I did mess and change her pot around, so she's not gonna be as snugly fit in here. Her roots might shock a little bit since I messed with them, so she's not gonna take the water up like she used to, but I'm gonna give her some time to kind of settle in here, and hopefully she bounces back and quits blooming for me and pushes some new leaves soon. She's a beauty. So she is all done. I'm gonna sit her out of the way. Okay, for these guys, since we had already potted them up, I'm just gonna take them out. I don't really like to go from soil to pond, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it for these two. They haven't been in here like for too long, maybe a couple, maybe like 6, 8 weeks, something like that. Alrighty, we got both of these guys rinsed here. And we're gonna use these cute little tiny cups. I got these recently. I had ordered some trellises from a small shop on Etsy. They're the, you know, clear acrylic ones, because I was looking for some trellises for all the new Hoya and stuff that I have. I've been using those stakes and I really like want actual trellises. So I found someone who was selling them in a set of 10 and they're pretty reasonably priced. And she was also selling a bunch of these small self-watering cups. You get the inner cache pot here, the wick, and these. And so I bought like a set of these as well. So I'll link her Etsy down there if you're interested. They're very tiny though. Like it's perfect, I feel like, to start an allocation because they're like super, super tiny. They're honestly like really cute because they're so little. I mean, look how little and cute that is. It even has a little window in the front here that you can see the water level. Right? How stinking cute. Gosh, these blooms are right next to my nose. They stink so bad. I should have thrown them away. And then once these outgrow this little container, I'll transplant them into my normal, it's like a 4-inch. I could stick these in the 4-inch right away, but I figured to save space because these are so tiny, I could fit these in my IKEA cabinet. I'm obsessed with how cute these are. I really wanted to sell this one, but I'm like, no, Melissa, you really should start a second mother plant. I feel like this one's good to have as a mother plant because it's already showing some really good genetics with the variegation, and it has like a decent amount of green on it. So I feel like this one's gonna be good. I do have a lot to say with variegation and alocasia specifically. I don't know. I'm going to talk about it when we get the Regal Shield because that's up next. So I'm going to quickly add, I'm just going to flush these through with water and maybe just add a tiny bit of nutrients in here, just a small amount. And then I'm going to get this cleaned up and we'll bring our albo Regal Shields out and talk a little bit about the variegation. Well, I have another one too that if I do that one, I have like a variegation tiff with that one. I love variegated plants, but sometimes variegation is so unpredictable. So I guess more or less if you plan or if you want a highly variegated specimen, just buy a highly variegated specimen. That's all I have to say. Don't take the chance on a corm because with a corm you don't know what you're going to get, right? You could either have something super variegated and get really lucky. You could have it grow all white. It could be reverted or just be low variegation. You really are gambling. You really are, just to save money. And I feel like a lot of the corms I have purchased I have been disappointed with, honestly. So if you want a really beautiful variegated alocasia, buy an exact plant, buy what you want, pay more for the variegation, it'll be worth it. And then all the offshoots, like all the corms, not all of them obviously, but I feel like if you have a highly variegated mother, there is a pretty good chance that the corms will come in with good variegation. So when I get new plants or when I splurge on a plant, most of the time I have the shop in mind, and you know, I use the money that I get from selling plants to buy these plants, you know. And I don't know, I've been like really disappointed in some of the plants that I purchased because I was so like eager to get them that I wasn't thinking about it. And you know, I was trying to save money and buying like corms to grow out, and eventually in my head, like, yeah, corm was expensive, but I saved money. But in actuality, it's like I may not be able to sell any of the corms because they're not going to have the variegation that I would like. So take it from me, save your money. It is worth it to splurge on a plant that is showing beautiful variegation. Just buy it. It's going to cost you more upfront, but I'm telling you, it'll be worth it. I am back with this massive Regal Shields albo plant. You can't even see like her entirety. She's pretty big. So I have my regular Regal Shields that I've had forever, and it's currently outside on my patio right now. And so the Regal Shields albo was just an alocasia that I was really looking forward to. So this was like back in August, so my shop hadn't been open that long, and this was just something that I kind of wanted to splurge on at that time, but they were so expensive. And so I decided to get a corm and grow it out. And so these first few leaves that came in, you guys, were absolutely stunning on this plant. I want to bring it a little bit closer. Like that there. So pretty. This one down here had like some purple. And this one over here was actually kind of pretty too. Ignore all the rips in the leaves. The new leaves were getting stuck on these little clips. That's why I don't like them anymore. And so like, I think 3 or 4 leaves have big tears in them because they were getting stuck as they were trying to emerge. But my problem is, so these 3 leaves were variegated, and then every leaf after, where's the variegation, right? It's non-existent. It's there, like you can see it a little bit, but it's more muted. Like that leaf, you can see it's very dim. And this newest one here in the middle, you can actually see a little bit of it, but it's very toned down. And so I'm a little sad. To me, I feel like it's kind of reverted. So I'm a little sad. I wished I had spent the money and just picked one with higher variegation. That way, with the corm, like when these first leaves came out, I honestly did think I got like so incredibly lucky to have some of this color, especially this leaf here. Like, this leaf here was everything, like this one. This is what I was wanting in this plant. And yeah, I'm just sad that it's reverted, kind of. And so when I first repotted this plant, like this plant isn't even a year old, because I got this as a corm at the end of July, August time frame. So this is literally grown from a corm, which is crazy how big. It just goes to show you how big Regal Shield alocasias are. Like, they get huge. And so when I up potted her the first time, I only found one corm, which is right here. This has been long overdue to get potted up. I have underwatered this poor thing in stratum so many times. And so guess what's happening? The first leaf came in with beautiful color. And then these next two, same thing. It's like a very muted variegation. And not that muted variegation is ugly or anything, it's just not what I want in this plant. So I don't know if it's some kind of genetic thing with this particular albo plant. So I'm tempted to just purchase a different one. I don't know. I'm gonna grow some corms out, some other corms. So that's why I want to check her. I've been underwatering her a lot lately, and she could have used a repot a long time ago. Some of these roots I let accidentally dry out, and so some of these are rotted now, like dry rot. But I haven't actually checked for corms in a really long time. So I want to dump her out of here, go digging, and repot her back up. So I don't really have any bigger pots, like I was saying. I kind of rinsed this one out, but this really isn't any bigger. So I'm just gonna stuff her back into this one and then get rid of the wick situation going on here. And then I'll have to get a bigger pot eventually and like pot her up. But if she continues to promote, or if she continues to produce these muted variegated leaves, I will purchase a different one. It really is just hit or miss sometimes, taking some of these mite packets off. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. I don't really need this one, and I was going to sell it, which I probably will. But the only reason I was holding on to it was because this one was reverting, and since this first leaf came out pretty variegated, I was like, oh, I'll just grow like a baby off of it out, and then I'll have my Regal Shield albo. But when these next two came in with muted variegation like that, I'm like, okay, I really don't want that one anymore, since I already have this big one. So I probably will just end up potting this up and listing it on my shop. I'll just make sure to take images of the photos really well, just so that they know like the newest leaves aren't coming in with much variegation. I saw someone selling one that has good color, but they're still kind of up there in price, but I'm wondering if I should just go ahead and get it before someone else buys it. Okay, let's dump her out. Ah! I'm just gonna cut these roots. I'm just gonna cut them. Okay. All right, she should have corms, because like I said, I haven't checked in a while. And my regular Regal Shields is a very heavily corm producing plant, so I imagine the variegated will be the same. Okay, I already see one, yay. And then I have my other corm. Oh, I put it over there from my pink black velvet. We'll do those at the end. I'm hoping I can get a few. Here's another one. Yay, that's exciting. So maybe I'll grow these out and see what the first set of leaves do. And then I won't need to purchase one if one of these are coming in with high variegation. So I don't know. I definitely don't have room for a million, a million huge Alocasia Regal Shields though. I'm gonna plant my regular one outside though, It's just chilling on the patio in pond still, but I'm gonna take it out of pond and actually like plant it in the yard. I actually have a few alocasia that I'm gonna plant in the yard. I don't wanna keep growing them anymore, like in my actual plant room. I do feel like they will come back each year. Okay, there's a third one. Okay. I think there's a fourth one. Yes, we got 4. There's a little one here, but it's not that big yet. I don't really want to take that one off. Here's another one. We got 5. Okay. I think that's it. One last check. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so we got 5 corms, so that's a decent amount. All right, so even though we got some dried roots here on the bottom, I don't think I'm gonna mess with them. It looks like she's already growing in a ton of new roots and everything up top. I really wish I had a bigger container for her, because this one's pretty small still. Oh well, I guess. I knew I wanted to do this, but for some reason, well, you can barely see me. These giant leaves. Yeah, for some reason I didn't think to get a bigger pot for her. Geez, I'm wondering if this is even smaller than the other one. Oh no, this leaf is coming off. No! The string ripped into it right here. Gosh darn it, the prettiest leaf. And this one here is coming off too, like this one. Yeah, this one's off. That is so sad. I'm gonna leave this leaf on though. It's gonna stay on, I don't care. Oh well. Yeah, she's gonna be crammed in here. That's okay though. I'll order a new pot when I'm thinking about it, when I have to place another Amazon order, and then I'll just like gently upsize her from there. Yeah, she's definitely too big for this pot. I think that's good. We'll give her a flush and then fill up this with water. I'm gonna leave my normal amount because she was pretty rooted and this pot's small, so I have a feeling she's still gonna drink it up pretty quickly. And then I don't know what to do with this one. Yeah, I'll rinse this. I think I just might pot it in my tree fern mix and put this one on my shop once it settles in. So maybe in like a few weeks. I'm gonna try and fit this huge plant in my sink. Okay, before I rinse the bigger one off, I wanna go ahead and pot this one up. I'm gonna actually go ahead and jump to a 4-inch. And then I added a little bit of more chunky perlite and with the smaller perlite. And so I'm gonna fill it up with this here. But I need to dump this stratum. Let's see, I'm just gonna dump it right here for now. I have to clean all these out. All right, I'm gonna rinse this real quick. Okay, it does have its own little arm right here, so maybe it'll be corm producing soon. I mean, it's still really tiny though. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pot this up. I think it'll fill in this 4-inch pot nicely. I feel like once it pushes one new leaf and it kind of roots up a bit in here, then I can list it, but I definitely want it to settle in and everything first. I think it'll actually appreciate not drying out so quickly all the time. Okay, we'll let that drain. All right, and then mother plant is down to 2 variegated leaves. And let's flush her. Okay. Okay, before we do the corms and get those put back, I think I will go ahead and tackle one more. Another upsetting variegated one that I purchased that I'm regretting this purchase. Because it's like, where's the variegation? It's nowhere in sight. This is the pink mint cuprea that I bought. When did I buy this? It was before the holidays, maybe like October, November. I'll have to look back. But it was a tiny plant, and you know, just by the way that this one's growing, I can definitely feel like it's, I don't know if it's corm grown or if it's TC, I'm not really sure. But the variegation is very minimal, you guys, like very, very minimal. It almost burns in, like it looks dirty in a sense. So this leaf here, you probably can't even really tell that there's any type of variegation. Like there, you can barely see it on the leaves. Like barely noticeable. This is the newest one, and you can see a little bit of variegation in that corner. Right here. You see a little bit, but it's gonna fade and become very light as to where you can't even notice it. And it's, I don't know. I feel like this was a big, a big waste of money because I really want the pink cuprea, like the very, very pink ones, but again, they're so expensive. So eventually I will own that one when the timing is right. But I thought this one would at least show a little more variegation, but I don't like it. I'm not happy with it. This was probably one of the biggest money waste in my opinion, because I haven't been able to sell any corms or anything, so this has made me nothing. These two leaves here are getting ready to come off at the base. So I'm gonna go ahead and pluck these two leaves away because they're getting ready to come off. This one and this one down here. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't really think it needs an upsize or anything, but I'm gonna dump it out and see if there's possibly a corm. I don't think there is, but we're gonna check. And I do wanna lower it down because it's a little wobbly. I wanna like put it in lower. Although I actually might get my other pot and not use the Swick one. But let me dump it out and just see. There is some corms. What? What the heck? There's two. I was not expecting that. Like right here and right there. Ooh. I wonder if these are gonna come in with any color. Okay, I'm gonna take this one off. There's one. And there's two. Is there a third one? There's four. What the heck? Could you imagine if one of those grew in with a lot of pink? I would take my regretting purchasing this back. There's another little one right here, but I don't want to take that off. So this one has been living in my Rudsta, and the reason why I wanted to take care of this one is because it's reached the top of the grow light, and this one here was actually getting burnt a little bit. It was touching it. So I think I might move this one to my Millsbow cabinet in my plant room, or maybe not even in my cabinet. My cabinet's kind of crammed in there right now, but it definitely needs to come out of the Rudsta. Well, I was not expecting corms. That is craziness. It's crazy how a small plant like this is already producing corms. Make sure none came off. Yeah, that is crazy. I am gonna go ahead and get rid of this wick pot situation, and then I'm gonna grab one of my normal 4-inch pots and we will repot this one. I'm happy I checked today. Okay, so that's the normal one. And let's add this back in here. I'm so excited to grow all these corms out now. There we go. Get that lower in there. Well, actually this might fit back in my Rudsta because it's not as tall. If I got it down lower. I would prefer it to stay in my Rudsta right now just because my plant room is so crammed. It's getting overhauled soon. After I get these last set of orders out, I'm taking a break from doing a restock this coming week so I can get all of my moss poles chopped. I have to water my plant room, and I'm gonna film a plant update probably Tuesday, and then I don't know how long it'll take me to film the plant update, probably several hours, and then I'll probably work on editing it. That'll probably be the next video after this one. So I don't know if that will go up by the end of the month or maybe like a couple days into May. So I'll have to work on it in my downtime, but I'm literally gonna spend probably all day or the rest of the day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and probably some on Friday. I'm chopping all of my moss poles. I'm getting it done. I was gonna slowly do it, but I have literally no time to do it unless I take a break from the shop. So I'm allowing myself a break from the shop this week to take care of them. I haven't watered them in a week and they are looking a bit droopy. So I will make my mind up after I grow these corms out. 5 regal shield albo corms. I'm sad that I only got 1 black velvet though. I was hoping I had more from her. And then I have 4 of these, so I'll be really excited to see what the variegation is gonna do. If the variegation is blah, then I will be getting a new mother plant, regal albo shield. And then this one, I guess I'll just keep until I can get my hands on a pink one down the road. I told myself I am going on, it's not really a ban, but I'm restricting buying like any more anthurium seedlings. Like I'm done. I'm not purchasing anything else unless I came across something and the moment was right. That's the only reason I would buy something. But I really just want to avoid looking if I can. I feel like I want to look a little bit though, because it gets that taste of like plant shopping. Because then if I'm not looking, what if I miss out and come across something that was like a really good deal, or I don't want to miss out on something. I don't know, I'm pretty content with like my plants right now. I've gotten a lot of new plants. I've gotten a lot of wish lists. There's nothing besides like a few plants that, again, if the timing was right, I would consider buying, but yeah, so we'll see. I really need to do my big Alocasia cuprea, you know, my huge one in my plant room. I need to seriously upsize that one. But again, I don't have a pot. I'm gonna have to order 2 pots, one for that one and one for the regal shield. So I have to order some later. I like this one back in this pot. There is that one. The leaves have stayed pretty consistently the same size. I've been feeding like my normal feed. So I'm wondering if this one is some kind of smaller hybrid or some kind of smaller mutation of the regular cuprea. I'm not sure. This newest leaf is a bit bigger than the rest, so maybe it's just taking a while to size up. But the regular cuprea I have is freaking huge. It's a monster of an alocasia. All right, we gotta flush that one at the sink yet and add some nutrients. And then I think what I'll do is get a small seedling tray instead of a big one. And because these are like more rare alocasia, so I can keep a closer eye on them. And I'll probably just grow these in my IKEA cabinet. Shut up, I hear the baby geese. Oh, I gotta go peek. Or maybe it's a bird that I heard, but I do see some babies. Oh, that is them hollering. Are you okay? Do you see how cute and little they are? One of them is yelling. Poor little babies. Oh my goodness. This is the couple that has like 8 or 9 little babies. They just popped up last week, I think. Oh, look at the one running. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. I just cannot. They're so cute when they run. Hi, babies. Oh my goodness. Sunshine. Hi, Star. That was a little bit of a distraction. 20 minutes later, there's baby geese and cats, and I was playing with them out there. But I just came back inside. So again, I just flushed through and added a little bit of nutrients, and I feel like it looks a lot better. It's more stable, it's back down there. And yeah, I got 4 babies to try and grow out. So hopefully I can get some color. I really wish it had more pink, but it's still pretty nonetheless. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get finished up here. I'm gonna grab a container for the corms and we'll plant those. I do wanna show you one other alocasia. I took care of it in my own time. My long lobata purple is awake from dormancy and it spit out a leaf. And then I have 2 babies that I'm gonna grow out and see what they do, but I'll show you those. I have them in my IKEA cabinet. And yeah, we'll get finished up here. I just let out like 3 sneezes in a row. I scared the living daylights out of Star. I felt so bad she took off running. My gloves are inside out. So I'm gonna use one of these small seedling trays. And I have a bin of used stratum. This is all recycled because I had emptied several alocasia trays, and so the stratum was pretty fresh. It was literally just used once, so I don't want to waste this. So I'm gonna fill, I just need 4 or 5, I need 10. And there's 12 here. All right, 10 little pods. And I have all the corms on this paper towel right here. The pink cuprea corms do look pink, which is kind of interesting. I love seeing the different variations in the corms, you know. I do like to peel them. I just have a pair of tweezers here. And I just gently peel the outer layer on. Sometimes I feel like it's not even worth it because a lot of the times they'll regrow the shell. And so it's like you didn't even peel it. Okay, and then we're just gonna, let's see, we have 4 of these. Yeah, let's just do these 4 over here. I'm gonna be so excited to see these grow. And I brought out some labels too. I'm gonna write PM cuprea. And today's date, just so that I know when I did these. I'm gonna have to start labeling each cell now, because sometimes I'll just do one for the row. I've gotten a variegated fried egg and a Michelizziana regular mixed up before, because a variegated one sprouted, but the first 3 leaves were all green, so it like came in reverted. But then a variegated leaf came out. Someone had emailed me like, oh look, a leaf on my Michelizziana came out variegated. I'm like, oh, it was probably a variegated corm then, and it came out with variegation. So yeah, I'm trying to be better about labeling them all so that I don't get any mixed up anymore. Okay, these are the Regal Shield Albo. I don't really have any room in my cabinet. I think I will just stick these in the other room on a heating pad in there, heating mat. Kind of kickstart them. RS Albo, Regal Shield Albo. Oops, I meant to do a pink. Cuprea. RS Albo. I pluck a lot of alocasias out too. The ones that sprout and grow taller, like once they actually start getting squished in these, then I'll take them out. Sometimes I'm really late on actually getting them transferred, and so I get behind with that, but from here, then I'll move them to a larger cup of stratum and let them root a bit more so that their leaves aren't getting squished, and then I will transfer them to substrate after. Okay, we got one pink black velvet. Pink black velvet. All right, I just have to water that, but look how cute. Add our lid. And I keep this closed all the way, and then I just kind of open it up on occasion, and then hopefully they'll start sprouting soon on that heating mat. Some of the pink capreas look like they were starting to sprout already, especially that one there. So I feel like it won't take that long. Okay, so this is everything that we did today. So we did our pink black velvets. We did our mother plant, repotted her, took the corm off, and then we have 2 babies that we potted up that we can at least get growing for, you know, a second mother plant. We did our cuprea here. So those are gonna go in my IKEA cabinet. And this one lives in my IKEA Millsbo too, so those will all go back in there. And then I think this one will actually fit in the Rudsta since I moved it down. So we'll stick this one in the Rudsta. This one will probably go in the shop room because I'm gonna let this one go. And then our big albo regal shields, it goes back in my plant room. And then these corms we're gonna put in the shop room as well to get growing. Yeah, so that is everything. I'm gonna go ahead and get this mess cleaned up. I had just vacuumed and mopped yesterday too, but that's okay. I have a little bit of a mess to clean up again, get those put back, and then I'm gonna do some watering and stuff as well. So I'll have a busy afternoon here, but I really hope you enjoyed this. It was nice getting those taken care of. At least it's a little bit less that I have to worry about right now. I just need to get a bigger pot for 2 of them. I need to order 2 big size ones. Well, probably a 9x8 is probably the size that I'm going to jump up to next. So I'll get a couple of those and just like probably upsize in my own time. But yeah, I'm ready to tackle the moss poles and get those taken care of so that I can quit worrying about it and stressing about it. And then I can focus on doing a lot more like propagating. I actually have a slew of alocasia that are in my plant room that I'm going to plant outside. Off the top of my head, I have at least 4 or 5 that I don't want anymore. So maybe I'll make a video when I go to do that, like downsizing some plants. I did want to make another downsizing video because I think there's some Hoya as well. So I'll have to do that maybe at some point. Yeah, I will film a little update soon for you guys, and then we'll get chopping these poles and get on to the rest of our spring projects and everything. So again, thank you so much for watching and for being here, and I will talk to you soon.